Welcome to BattleTech in the Morning with Captain Nips. I'm Captain Nips, and it's finally Friday on this wonderful week of ours. The weekend is almost here, ladies and gentlemen. But there's one last thing that I need to take care of before I can ride off into the weekend sunset. And that is one more round at the helm of the BattleTech Backer Beta. Now today, in what I'm going to say is the proud tradition that I begun last Friday. Began? Whatever. Sometimes you just wanna see things blow up. Sometimes you just wanna see things be silly. You know, it's so easy to get sucked into the very dire and serious nature of the BattleTech inner sphere conflicts. But you know what? No, that's not for today. Today is not that thing. If you came here today looking for serious BattleTech, I'm sorry to disappoint. However, I'm hoping that in the next however many minutes, you will at least be entertained. Maybe get a good laugh out of it. So today, in what I'm gonna just call this as Silly Friday.
Welcome, Commander.
Game files are a funny thing. You know, you can get in there and computers will do just about whatever you tell them if you feed them the right numbers. And it's amazing what you can do with just a bunch of zeros. So for today in BattleTech in the Morning, I have lined up a lance of atlases. Those are stock atlases. Nothing special going on over there. I've given them as many crack pilots as I can stuff into their cockpits. If I could stuff more than one into each cockpit, I would. They probably would need the help today. Because today, we learn what happens when you add a bunch of zeros to a whole bunch of values across a whole bunch of files that make up one of the mechs. So today, I present the Superman Griffin. What is the Superman Griffin, you ask? Well, first of all, it's horribly illegal. If you're looking for a tabletop, like, cannon build that follows the rules, no, this is absolutely not that thing. And I'm okay with it because it's gonna cause some interesting things to happen in this match. What is the Superman Griffin? Well, the Superman Griffin, if we go down the way, you will notice, first of all, that it's got a lot of jump jets. Turns out it's not as many jump jets as I would like, and you can start cramming jump jets in, but eventually, like, the game, I didn't test the limits of feasibility here, but needless to say, I've got enough jump jets. I would like to have more, but maybe another day. Also, those legs are crammed full of, we'll call them prototype single heat sinks that are 1/20th the size. Just in case. I was a little worried about the whole jump jet situation generating too much heat. You'll also notice, as I get messages from on high, you will notice that I don't have any weapons. And the reason for that is because, let's be honest, when you start adding zeros to values in game files, sometimes the weapons just don't matter anymore. You'll notice that the mech has a capped speed bar, and a capped durability bar, and a capped melee bar. So those are kind of meaningless until I show you in-game what that means. Now, to pilot this Superman chassis, I think it is only fair to pick the Superwoman of my heart from the roster, Showboat. Showboat's going to be here doing the work today. She's not going to get a whole lot of use out of her skills. I'm just going to throw that out there. Because
Commencing deployment. Mech warriors, prepare for combat.
it turns out when you add zeros to basically every line in the mech def and chassis def and move def files, fun things happen. So first of all, as we launch,
Command interface initiated.
you will notice that I can see the atlases from my spawn. And that's because her spotter range is now 10 times as long as it normally is. Also, her line of sight is 10 times as long as it normally is. Look at this terrain, by the way. I might have to do a series where I just turn the line of sight and visibility up and just look at this pretty terrain. Like, there's stuff going on here you don't normally see because of the fog of war. You've got these rocks, this little river here. We'll even take a trip up into the caldera over here a little bit. There's actually an island over here, sort of. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, I mean, that counts, right? It's surrounded by water on all sides. I mean, it's half off the map, but what are you going to do? Now, that's all well and great that she can see the enemy targets in the distance. But what are we going to do about it? They're so far away. What are we going to do?
Good to go.
Well, I mean, we could just walk right over to them and say hi. And how are we going to say hi? Well, we're going to say hi with our 700 damage melee attacks because, again, adding a 0 to everything. I think it's only fair that we at least let the enemy mechs have one move before we go ham on them, though. So, I'm going to take these jump jets of mine, which, again, sadly, not as much jump as I would like. I'm going to work on that. Maybe Superman 2 will be able to reach orbital heights. So we're gonna park ourselves up here. Nothing special about this, aside from the fact that she's almost literally flying. And we'll hunker down, because I'm sure that the guarded state is going to matter to the Superman Griffin. Curiously enough, they can see her, which is fine.
Is that it? I'm barely scratched.
I must have added a 0 to one of the values that says, hey, can you see me? Honestly, wasn't expecting them to shoot at me. But you know what? This is fine. This is a good test of the Superman Griffin, as the quartet of Atlases are all trying in vain to kill what is their likely doom. Now, as Showboat's mech takes some missiles, you'll notice that the
You got nothing, you hear me?
armor that she's losing doesn't really... It's not really graying out. It's not really taking a whole lot of... Look at that precision strike. Even we get rid of the guarded state. Look at all that damage. I mean, she's probably been hit by, 60 by 4. She's like 240 damage. Like a ton of damage. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when your armor values are 10 times what they normally are, so much so that they can't render properly with the numbers up here. We're line breaking. You don't so much care about the sorts of things that they're flinging at you. So that's fun. I'm amused. How about we go for a little jog? Just a regular move. We're going to take a regular move. We can move down off of this. My camera's is zoomed out. Oh, there we go. Zoom out my camera as much as I can here. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. Oh, can't quite reach the edge of the map. Now it is it's worth watching this part, as we see Showboat in the distance, and what I'm sure is probably breaking relativity in her stop motion animation style, as she breaks the sound barrier in all likelihood to walk halfway across the map. Check out this little glade, this little plateau valley, as our friends in the distance try and figure out what to do. Because honestly, if I were them, I'd be figuring out what to do. I would punch out. I would just white flag this right from the start. If I saw a mech, a medium mech, sized medium mech, go 1.5 kilometers in under 10 seconds, I probably wouldn't want any part of that.
Waiting for orders.
What happens if we run? Well, I mean, running's just fast walking, right? Got some problems with it, though. Oh, that's reverse. Never mind. Never mind. We don't need to do this in reverse. Unless you're a Pat McCurdy fan. How far can we get? We can get pretty far. We can get pretty far. Let's test the limits of that.
No sweat.
You know, Superman did compete with the Flash for the title of fastest man alive, and though usually it turns out to be a tie or some sort of other, you know, like plot-related shenanigans that spoils the race, you know. It's hard to say that that was not a good sprint. As the enemy atlases are still trying to figure out what exactly is going on. They saw a mech in the distance, and then it disappeared. They know it was a mech because they shot missiles at it. Now, it was commented to me that in other videos by other YouTubers that
Waiting on you, Commander.
there was some playing around with the edges of the map, that it was possible at one point to jump out of the map. It looks like that has probably been fixed. Which is sad, because if anyone was going to be able to jump out of the map, Superman Griffin was going to be able to do it. But, just for funsies, let's take one more jump.
You betcha.
Let's give these guys one more chance to stand down. One more chance. Are they even going to get a chance to see me? I thought for sure standing on top of that rock meant that they were going to be able to take a shot, but I suppose not. I suppose I'm just a smidgen too far away. And by smidgen, I mean I am a long ways away in a very lonely hill. So let's fix that, shall we? I think it's time. These bad men and women, these bad mechs,
I hear ya.
refusing to follow the rule of law. Fortunately, with our lightning speed, finding a path is not a problem. Who is the most vulnerable? Well, see, these three atlases decided that guarding, not a bad idea. I don't disagree. Probably not a bad idea. Which means contestant number 1 is about to get punched.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Ah, did you need that side and center torso? I wasn't sure. Oh, but it's bringing focus to the table. What will it do? Wow, ooh, 100 damage. That's impressive, you know? Working me down. Look at all that. Look at all that damage.
Whoa! Easy on the armor, buddy.
Showboat's got the right attitude here. But she knows. She knows in her heart of hearts.
Took a heavy hit there.
Will Superman get through this terrible barrage?
Yikes! That hit hard. Waiting for orders.
The answer is yes. And now the answer to that question, the response to that sort of behavior, I mean, surely can only be punch the hell out of this guy. Interesting. Did not actually kill the mech. 700 points of damage, was only just capable of stripping the leg and side torso off, taking the arm with it. Somebody actually took a punch. Let's see, that's 310 damage plus 400, 500, 75, and then another 100 or so in the center torso. Look at that. Atlases capable of taking 700 damage hits and surviving somehow.
Good to go.
Let's fix that. You know what? Let's prove a point. I don't think this guy has... he's seen what can happen when you incur the wrath of Superman. But what about his friend over here? Shooting at my mech, deciding that I'm a threat that should be eliminated. What happens when you drop 2 700 damage points on something?
Got it.
Oh, that's right. You obliterate it. See that? See that guy over here? That could have been you. Taking lots of stability damage.
I'm taking a pounding, Commander.
It's a good thing that the Superman Griffin that Showboat is piloting is extra stable. Wow, even getting in on the back. Look at that. Giving Atlas your back. What happens?
Okay, that was bad.
Oh, Showboat. Come on.
Commander?
You got this. You got this. Here. Do what you do. Do what you do.
Ah!
Wow, look at that. That's interesting. Didn't kill it. Let's see, that's like 255 plus 355, 455. Yeah, okay. Straight through the arm, through the torso, into the center. Not quite enough damage to kill it.
That hit hard.
Will it retaliate? Of course it's going to retaliate. I mean, what are these mooks going to do? Like, there's clearly no evil mastermind here. There's no Lex Luthor on this table. These are all just,
Good to go.
these are all just flunkies. And, you know, you don't mean to do such bodily harm to flunkies. Oh, this is going to go very poorly for this Atlas as I hit its one good side. Seems only fair, though, right?
Right, Commander. Ah!
Count yourself fortunate that I did not punch you in the head. Listen, you got all the focus in the world. Do you really think it's going to do anything against Supergirl here? Showboat's got your number, sir.
Whoa! Easy on the armor, buddy.
And that number is zeros. So let's just get this out of the way and show them what coming down from orbit sounds like.
Affirmative.
Looks like and feels like. Looks and feels like a very obliterated Atlas. Feels good, doesn't it? Feels good to just kind of go ham and brutalize some Atlases with nothing but your fists and legs. In what can only be considered a very, very unfair, exceptionally unfair, probably the most unfair matchup in the history of matchups. Didn't really take too much damage. Oh, you know, we took a couple hundred damage to some panels. You know, arms, that left arm in particular. Almost 300 total damage on that arm. Those Atlases were not slouching. But when you're moving at Mach 6 and you're throwing 700 damage punches, this is where you end up on the other side of that. That was cathartic. That was good. I enjoyed that. I hope you did too. But that'll be all for today's BattleTech in the Morning. I know, a relatively short video, but as it is, I want to get to the weekend. How about you? Not that much longer, just got to get through the day. Until then, I will be your commander in the sky, cheating with the numbers, Captain Nips. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are. Go find your own Superman or Supergirl or Superwoman. Blow up some atlases. It'll be great. But that's all for now, and I'll see all of you in the next video.